Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is that you are tuning in. This is Unapologetically Me, featuring me. No special guest, just me. Hey everybody, how are you guys doing today? I hope you guys have been having a great day. All right, we're gonna jump right into it. So I showed you some major evidence in part 4, right? Part 5 was going to be entirely about Sunday, the entire day. But based on many of the comments, I think I need to reiterate a few things and point out a few more things that may not have been noticed by everyone viewing yesterday. Totally fine. I know it's a lot. Just because I've had a good long chance to study these photos doesn't mean you have, right? It was probably the first time you ever really looked at them was yesterday, the photo and the video. So let's not waste any time with formalities in this video and cut straight to the chase. Thank you again for clicking on this video. I do want to say that, and thank you to all of my subscribers. Now, I showed you a photo and a video that were allegedly taken at the same time, same day. This photo and this video. Now, this photo was taken by Chris Neal, who is a freelance photographer living over 50 miles away. You can see his name in the bottom left corner of the photo. This photo was printed as being taken on Sunday, the day Nicola's body was allegedly discovered. My first question would be, how did a freelance photographer who lives 50 plus miles away get to Rawcliffe Road in record-breaking time in order to take these photos before anyone else had gotten there, with the exception of one police car and a drone unit? I also explained that the helicopter in this photo is hovering over the river, but it's a mile away. It is being used for a completely different mission. Is being used as a backdrop for this photo in order to create the illusion that it is part of the same show, okay? And we're going to get into that more, all right? This video, we all know, was in fact said to be taken on the day of the body being found. Curtis was even arrested for allegedly filming the body being found, yet that video needed to be removed. So if you didn't see it, you're not going to see it. Unfortunately, I didn't see it either. Had I seen it, I would have been able to screen record it and I'd be able to show you how terribly the alleged body was handled, though it probably would have been flagged, so scratch that idea anyway. Unfortunately, I didn't see it though, so I can't even speak on it. But going back to this particular photo and this video, you can see that there are differences, even though they were allegedly taken the same day at the same time. If you take a look at the other photos that we got from other media outlets from the sky, you can see the scene is entirely different. At best, Chris Neal and Curtis Arnold got to the scene before any of the other police were there, right? So we can say this was all done on Sunday. But if that's the case, then Chris Neal and Curtis Arnold got to the scene, as I said, before any of the other police were there. Since when does that happen? It's my opinion that Curtis got there on Sunday way earlier than he was supposed to get there. And because of that, you can see the mistakes. In this photo, there's no van. In this video, there is. And the road has been closed off. In this photo, the road has not been closed off because a car has just driven by in one of the photos. And again, in this photo, here you can see the car passing through the other way. So how do we have photos that don't match the video? The only conclusion that I could come to is that these photos were not taken on the same day as the video. Now, Chris Neal said that he just happened to be at the right place at the right time, that it was, quote, sheer luck, unquote. Curtis allegedly just happened to be in the area as well and heard the news immediately in order to be there before the helicopters, I guess, before the drones, before mainstream media. There's a video of Curtis at about 12:10 that very day talking to a bicyclist.
A police car, van on across the junction, that's all, stopping the traffic and letting them through.
Have you been down there?
Not yet, no.
Oh, there's loads of police. I just wonder what was happening.
Oh, to do with the missing lady on the river.
Oh, it is. But you know, are they there for her today? Have they found something?
Again?
Have they found something today, do you think?
I don't know yet. That's what they have.
Yeah.
You know about it, won't you?
Yeah, I know about it for sure.
He came into town for a reason, and damn did he get lucky. Because if he got there on Sunday morning, then he got there right before all the action was about to start. And I would have to say that that was quote unquote sheer luck as well. And as far as Jason Rothwell is concerned, if he is this accurate at finding bodies, I feel like he would be much more well known. The only other body Jason Rothwell has allegedly found using his clairvoyant gifts was Michael Brooks, who was another person who mysteriously went missing and whose death is still unsolved. So we have Chris Neal, a freelance photographer living 50 plus miles away. We have Curtis Arnold of Curtis Media living 50 plus miles away. And then we have Jason Rothwell, a psychic medium, also living 50 plus miles away. All three of these people were key players in the discovery and media of Nicola's body. And they just happened to be near an isolated country road within 10, 15, 20 minutes max of the phone call to police. In my opinion, this is just not humanly possible. At first, I believed that Curtis Arnold and Chris Neal were tipped off. They had to have been. There's no way that they could have gotten there from word of mouth alone. They would have been much later in showing up, and the roads would have already been closed off, and they would not have been able to get these close-up photos and videos. And people say that Curtis persuaded these police. There is allegedly a dead body in these reeds, and you just allowed some random dude with a GoPro to walk through? There is no way that that would have happened. They would have been like, I don't care where your car is. Get out of here. The road's been closed. Why are you here? And I've already talked about the lunacy that a random psychic medium would have even been believed by police in the first place, especially to the point to not even question him first, and immediately rallying up helicopters, specialist drone teams, and mainstream media, all who were there just a little after noon. In reality, even if the police believed Jason, they would have sent an officer or two out to meet with him and view the area first. They would then locate the body, if they could locate a body, as in if Jason were correct and there actually was a body in the area, and then they would call police. Then they would call the crime scene investigators, which would probably come out and check the area as well. They would cordon off the roads. They would never have let Curtis through, or a freelance photographer for that matter. And it would have been hours before we got the first glimpses, more than likely from the helicopter view, rather than close-up photos of what was going on. So let's go through the timeline of Sunday, which begins at 11:26 a.m. This would be Act 1. Which is from 11:26 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. And right now you're already thinking, no, the phone call was made at 11:36 a.m. And you would be correct. Jason Rothwell made the phone call to police at 11:36 a.m. But another strange coincidence of someone being at the right place at the right time would be this tweet from none other than Inzamam Rashid, which was posted to Twitter at 11:26 a.m. just 10 minutes before the phone call was made. This tweet was a photo of the bench not a whole view of the bench, but a view of the number 23 on the bench specifically, placing Sky News journalist Inzamam Rashid less than a mile away from the location of the body, right smack at the same time that the body would be found. So let's take roll here. All right, let's do a little roll call. Everyone at the river, raise your hand. Okay, let's see. We have Inzamam Rashid, Curtis Arnold, and freelance photographer Chris Neal. And let's not forget Jason Rothwell, who came all the way there on a hunch. Now you need to remember, Jason did not call police and say he found Nicola's body. He simply said he was at the location because he believed her body would be found there. And he asked that they come and see. It was allegedly while he was waiting for police to show up that he saw her body float to its location in the reeds, which he later retracted. So we still don't know the truth there of what he allegedly saw. So on a hunch, all of these people were there well within an hour of that phone call. And some appear to have been there in the area before the phone call was even made. We know Inzamam Rashid was there before the phone call was made. He tweeted from the bench 0.9 miles away, 10 minutes before. Do you see now what I'm trying to show you? I had a worry that if I connected the number 23 and Freemasonry in ancient Egypt into that same video yesterday, that it was going to be too confusing. I thought about breaking the two videos up while I was editing, but because I'm super short on time as the inquest being on Monday, I needed to get out as much information in part 4 as possible so that I could do parts 5 and 6 before Monday. And I'm still not sure I'm going to make it. I also said in that video, I am very new to symbolism and Freemasonry. I don't know anything about it. I told you, I was completely transparent. I have just dipped my toe in the water. I am no way qualified to prove any of that. I can only tell you what I see when I look at photos and video and the timeline of things. They don't add up. It doesn't fit. And that is all I need to know that something is being hidden. And if something is being hidden, it's for a reason. Again, this is just my opinion. It is not at all my concern whether or not you believe what I'm telling you. I'm just giving you the information that I know to be factual in this video, minus all the fluff. When I look at evidence, I look at timelines, I look at photos, I look at videos. This is all considered to be hard evidence. When timelines change, in any case, it's a red flag. When photos and videos show something different than what we are being told, in any case, it is a red flag. I do not look at what people say as hard evidence. Neither would a court. In order to prove something, there needs to be evidence to prove it. You can't just say something happened and expect everyone to believe it if you have nothing to back it up, right? I mean, am I wrong? This is true for every single one of us. So why is it not true for higher ups? We're just supposed to believe what they're telling us regardless of whether or not they have evidence to back it up because what? They're better than us? They're higher up than us? Think about bringing this case into a courtroom for a trial. It would be a shit show. It would be thrown out. There's just not enough evidence to back anything up. And in my opinion, it was designed to be that way from the start. Whew. Unfortunately, their evidence of the body being found is where they screwed up. Because the timeline and the photos and the videos do not align. They do not make sense. They do not fit. So, back to the 11/26 tweet from Inzamam Rashid. This is, in my opinion, the tip-off that everyone was waiting for that day. It was the, hey everybody, Jason Rothwell made it here. He's about to call the cops and set off alarm, so everyone take their positions, please. 10 minutes to showtime. Inzamam would later be live on location for Sky News at 2 p.m. And you'll have to wait for that. That's going to be in Act 3. But it should be noted for Act 1 that Inzamam Rashid plays a covert role in the deception before taking a breather and then coming back later to perform again live in front of the cameras. 11:36 a.m. Jason Rothwell arrives on Rockcliffe Road and makes the phone call to police that he has this uncanny feeling that Nicola's body will be found in the river off of this road. Naturally, Lancashire Constabulary refused Freedom of Information's request to release the recording of this phone call, and I'm not saying it didn't happen. It happened. It needed to happen. I'm just wondering what was really said. I assume it was scripted, just like everything else, but also just like the Ron interview with Inzamam Rashid and Kay Burley, the one that looked like it was supposed to be happenstance, yet you could totally tell it was planned. This phone call, if heard by the public, would have been, in my opinion, so transparently ridiculous and absurd. It is why they cannot and will not release it. Within minutes, police closed off Rockcliffe Road to all traffic, including cyclists and journalists arriving on scene once the word had gotten out that something was going down. This ensured total privacy was maintained in and around the main outdoor stage area throughout the afternoon, all having a good laugh at everyone's expense, no doubt. Now, another thing you may not have noticed from part 4, and that's my fault. I should have pointed everything out much more clearly. I was expecting people to see things, see what I saw, without knowing what to even look for. And again, that's my bad. To be crystal clear on the timeline, a helicopter, GPOLC, took off from NPAS Barton near Manchester at 11:52 a.m. It arrived at St. Michael's on Wire at about 12:10 p.m. The theater in the sky, if you will, meant to assist with the overall illusion. Helicopter G-POLC stuck around for 20 minutes before flying back to Manchester at 12:30 p.m. For most of this time, it had to go dark. No doubt, the civilian pilot has a story to tell. What you see here is evidence of the 12 minutes between 12:16 p.m. and 12:28 p.m., where for all intents and purposes, cloaking mode was engaged. But it doesn't matter, because we know exactly what was going on from footage and photos in the public domain. Here is a 45-second segment from Sky News choreographed by Inzamam Rashid himself. It weaves footage of the fake search from Act 2 into the magic that is Act 1. Focus in on the hovering helicopter and actor posing as a community support officer. Just watch it a few times. The reason the studio quality part of this segment is made possible is because Inzamam Rashid and Sky News were actually inside the closed off area that no other journalists were allowed to access, already set up and poised to beguile you with action of the pre-planned day. The helicopter is dutifully hanging to perfection where needed, and what you see is an actor, the Platinum Blonde, who fulfills a second important role later on in Act 2. Other members of the cast bringing you this production include, as I said, Chris Neal, the freelance photographer from Saturday, but this time only for a few more action shots to assist with making Act 1 seem credible. Just look at this beautiful photo captured. It's taken from the alleged cordoned off footpath to suck you right in. Here's the genuine article up close with the registration visible, GPOLC, as opposed to the helicopter in the background from the photos of Jason Rothwell from the day before, in which the helicopter's registration is GPOLG. Both helicopters that I showed you in part 4 were helicopters within the photos and videos taken of the day the body was found. What I did not point out specifically was that one was GPOLG and the other was GPOLC. Ugh, I'm getting confused myself now. But there was only one helicopter, and we know this. Now pay attention, because these are not the only differences. As I said, we're going to get into all of it and break it all down. This helicopter action shot is taken a minute or two before Sky News recorded their set piece, I believe, all around 12:20 to 12:25 p.m. And not leaving anything to chance. After all, Chris is a professional. He had the opportunity to take this slightly earlier photo, which was actually taken at 12:10 p.m. as a best estimate of yet another actor with the helicopter incoming from Manchester. Did she just say actor? Surely. That's just a regular police constable in the heart of the action with the helicopter, once again perfectly framed in the background. Yes, I did. I said actor. See if you can spot the costume change of this actor and the role he goes on to play in Act 2 here. Can you see it yet? Staying with Act 1, 11:26 a.m. to 12:45 p.m., leaving aside the staged photos of Jason Rothwell from the day before, it was necessary to corroborate him actually being present on Sunday. Video filming Jason at the scene would help with enabling the media to later track down, as intended, the identity of Jason, this yet unknown stooge, subconsciously reinforced the notion that all of the photographs were taken at the same time on Sunday, and to ensure that supporting Lancashire police personnel on call that day could be fooled into thinking that this was a genuine event. Remember, not everybody knows what's going on. They can't all be in on it. It needs to look genuine. However, this has all unfortunately failed spectacularly for them, as I feel I am going through great lengths to demonstrate. We talked about Curtis Arnold. Curtis Arnold being the YouTuber responsible for capturing it all on video footage. Now, this is all happening concurrently with Sky News and Chris Neal fulfilling their contracts, all in very close proximity to each other. However, Curtis just so happens to walk right through the middle and out the other side, capturing video footage of Jason Rothwell holding a pose while doing so. And this is at around 12:15 to 12:20 p.m. So try and picture Chris Neal slightly back along the footpath, if you will, and Sky News just along the lane toward the village at the same time period. This whole area is closed off to everyone else. This photo is a still image from the staged scene that YouTuber Curtis Arnold captures on video. It was posted by the Daily Mail, but it appears that they forgot to credit Curtis for this photo, because Daily Mail did not take it. It's a still shot from Curtis's video. It is not a photo. This video that I've been showing you in part 4, and again right now, was deleted as of June 21st, 2 days ago. Interesting, right? Good thing I already had it saved, right? Wink, wink. Why would he remove it? As I said earlier, Curtis, I believe, was a bit too early or earlier than expected on that Sunday, at least for his stage entrance, perhaps, because the drone guy hadn't yet got his drone up yet. Also, can you spot the platinum blonde again? Not overly keen to be recognized. This is a short time after 12:30 p.m. And we know this because the helicopter has already departed back to Manchester. Let's just quickly recap because this is very important to understand. Shortly after the helicopter arrives at St. Michael's-on-Wire at 12:07 p.m., as I said, it stays for 20 minutes before returning to base. Inzamam Rashid and Curtis are already waiting nearby along Rawcliffe Road for the show to get underway. For Curtis, here's a clip of him talking to and filming a man on his bike on Rawcliffe Road, very near the scene, after the road has been closed off, but before the helicopter has arrived. This is all part of me showing people that he is a total fraud, a paid actor to support the lies. Inzamam Rashid's first visible task is to film the helicopter hovering on his mobile phone, uploaded and posted to Twitter at 12:20 p.m. He, being the one who tweeted the cryptic Bench 23 exactly 10 minutes before this phony 11:36 a.m. call into the police by Jason Rothwell. Around the same time as Inzamam Rashid is posting to Twitter, Curtis at 12:15 walks on stage and records Jason Rothwell pretending to look shocked on the side of the road before walking on. If you watch it through a few times, when I'm telling you it's all an act, you can see just how horrible the acting is. You can see Marie Sanderson inching closer. No, a little bit closer, a little bit closer. Oh, let me put my hand up here. Okay, and let's get this still. And I don't think I mentioned this before, but then Curtis films the helicopter some minutes later from further down Rawcliffe Road, very near Hudson's Farm Fishery. There's a road sign that's visible in his 14-second clip that he posted to YouTube. And this is one reason why it's possible to know his movements with some reasonable precision. Once that's taken and the helicopter has disappeared, he then makes his way back through the scene. At the same time, Curtis is further down the road while the helicopter is still around. Sky News produces the first of the very professional TV broadcasts. The blonde speaking to the van driver, then nonchalantly walking off stage with the helicopter hovering beautifully in the background. This is that same time frame and means serious filming equipment is in place along Rockcliffe Road with the actors ready to shoot the necessary scenes. Do not forget Chris Neal, who is also nearby, just where the river path meets the road. I'll bet he actually captured some pretty great action shots of Curtis. His official task, however, is to get a nice action shot of the helicopter with its registration visible to give the illusion all is happening on Sunday. Mix it all up with the Saturday photos. Sometime after 12:30 p.m., the helicopter's gone. Curtis does the walkthrough back through the scene. Rothwell and friend have already left. It is believed that they were escorted to the police station for a debrief to effectively put on an act so that regular police did not get suspicious. Now, that's not corroborated other than what he claimed himself. There would really be no reason for him to lie about this. The drone actor, not quite ready, but he does now get the drone up for this bit of the act. The trunk of the car or boot is now open, and this is all Act 1 of their show. They take a break, they prepare for the remainder of the afternoon, which I will talk about in the next video. Basically, every single photo published, not video, photo published of Jason Rothwell is shot on Saturday, excluding the still image from Curtis's video. Again, this is not a photograph. There is not a single photo of him taken on Sunday. I already pointed out that the drone is a totally different drone yesterday in part 4. The drone that I pointed out from Saturday's photo op, that lightweight DJI Mavic. Sky News spent far too much time showing footage of this actual drone, which is the one used on Sunday, which looks a lot more like the substantial DJI Matrice 30T. They are not the same. Judging by what Lancashire police have been using in their regular searches, it isn't theirs either, which isn't too surprising because the team on the ground at the coalface were not even Lancashire police. I think one of the biggest questions here is, are these three parties to the media deception, Sky News, Chris Neal, and Curtis Media, even aware of each other's roles? It's entirely possible that they are compartmentalized, managed on a need-to-know basis, fulfilling only their clearly defined roles. Now let's take a look at the police car from the photo that I believe was taken on Saturday, and let's compare it to the police cars from Sunday. I think the thing is that two of the regular police cars from the Sunday were just not available on Saturday. So instead, the one similar police car in the photos, registration plate is KU68ZCA. We do not see the gray Mercedes van. Yet in the video, the big gray Mercedes support van is right there. Large as life. And the two regular police cars on the scene have the registration numbers AE17EWW and AE17EWX. Just look at the photos. It's all right here. Now let's do a quick recap for everyone who has decided to call me crazy in the comment section below. Look, I get it. Okay, with the Freemasonry and everything, like I said, I'm new to that all, and I don't get much about it either, and I didn't think anything of it until reading Chris's Substack. This is the first I'm really looking into it all, but aside from that, you cannot deny what you are seeing here. Do not be gaslit into believing that what you see isn't really there. There was one helicopter deployed on the day Nicola's body was allegedly discovered and recovered, and that was helicopter G-POLC. Yet in this photo taken by Chris Neal of Jason Rothwell and friends show a helicopter with the registration G-POLG, the exact same helicopter that was used on Saturday at the football game and to help with the injured person in nearby Eccleston. As you see here, there was one police car on the road in that same photo with the plate number of KU68ZCA. Also in this photo, you will notice there is no van. There is also a regular civilian vehicle disappearing in the distance as if the road has not been closed off. However, In this video and all subsequent videos from Sunday, as well as other photos from mainstream media, it is a much different scene. It isn't even set up the same. And you can see the helicopter has the registration of GPOLC. The police vehicle's plate numbers are AE17EWW and AE17EWX. I don't know how anyone can look at this and think that it makes any sense. I admit I may have gone off the rails in part 4 discussing certain things, but when it comes to the Nicola Bulley case alone, anyone who can make sense of this is the crazy one, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but I refuse to be force-fed bullshit. Whatever happened to Nicola is being covered up, period. And many of you have asked, do I believe she's still alive? No, I don't. I do not believe she is still alive. I believe she is an unfortunate victim of foul play, and what really happened to her, people are going to great lengths to cover up. Is it because of Freemasonry? I don't know. Was she a sacrifice? I don't know. I can only show you certain things that for some reason seem to fit together. Rainbow Storm made a comment on part 4, saying that they talked about this in many videos months ago. They even made a comment as if I used their stuff or something, which I didn't. I haven't even seen their channel, and I'm saying they because I'm not sure if it's a male or a female. I should probably have checked before scripting, but they said something about we should have worked together months ago if I was going to go this route. And the thing is, I wasn't going to go this route. I think that's pretty clear. I've talked about cover-up and corruption, and I've always thought it had something to do with organized crime. That's always been my stance. Freemasonry was not on my radar because I don't know anything about it. To me, it's craziness. Though now, after looking into it, I started realizing that it's not so crazy after all. It is a real thing, and nothing that they believe or that they do would make sense to any of us. It's not meant to make sense to us. We're not supposed to figure any of this out. And anyone who goes against the narrative is always considered to be a conspiracy theorist. Anyone who questions anything is a flippin' Looney Tune. And I don't give a shit. That's the thing. I don't care. I don't care what I look like to anybody. We are being manipulated. We are headed down a very dark path if we continue to allow it. If the majority of people don't start questioning things that don't make sense instead of just following suit, then we are all screwed. We already have very little, if any, control over what we are told to do. Whatever control we feel that we have is an illusion. They say, stay in your house, stay away from other people, and everybody does it, right? They put out a substance that hasn't been thoroughly tested. And let me remind you, if you look into the FDA, in order for anything to be FDA approved, it takes 10 years of studying at minimum. People are putting things in their bodies with only weeks of studying. Why? Because the government said so? I really feel for the people who are questioning this, but were forced into it. But I'm going to steer away from that for now because that's just an entirely taboo topic on YouTube and I don't want to be flagged. But I feel very strongly about it. Obviously, I'm getting a little intense here. So anyway, as I was saying, if you want to check out Rainbow Storm's channel, they go into all of this and have maintained this view from the beginning. So if you want to learn more about the Freemasonry part or the symbolism or any of that, the 23, I just took a look at their channel. I figured it is a guy. He goes over this from the very beginning. He has thought this. So that would be the channel to go to. My main objective here on this channel is not to really go into any of that. It's to show you evidence. Facts that I believe can be proven. I wish I knew what really happened for a fact. I personally don't think we're ever going to know. We can only make educated guesses based on evidence that we have been allowed to see. These types of things are not things we are ever supposed to even come close to figuring out. So let's just go over the timeline of Act 1 one more time just to be clear, and then I'm going to end this video and we will have to go on to the remaining acts of Sunday. 11:26 a.m. Inzamam Rashid of Sky News fires the starting gun via a tweet once everyone is in position. 11:36 a.m. Jason Rothwell calls the police station. By 12 p.m., Rockcliffe Road is closed and sealed off and police units are dispatched, as well as a helicopter being en route from Manchester. 12:15 to 12:25 p.m., photos from Chris Neal and video footage from both Sky News and Curtis Media are taken. 12:30 to 12:45 p.m., we have Sky News drone footage and additional Curtis Media video footage. And this would close Act 1. I want to give it to you in bits and pieces because it appears that I am putting way too much into each video to where your minds are spinning just like mine were. But like I said, I have had way more time to process this than you have. I have been studying this for weeks now. I hope that this video made sense when I took all of the other stuff and fluff out. I wish I had time to put out everything that I have, but I can only give you the meat and potatoes of things at this point. It is just too damn close to the inquest. I hope you guys have a great day, and we will talk soon. Please be safe, be healthy, be happy, and most of all, be unapologetically you. Bye-bye.